Hello there gorgeous gamers and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and we have a review of sorts for On Point, a new arcade shooting game that will be very familiar to those of a certain age. It's out now on MetaQuest and Steam as an early access release, and I've given it a go, so watch on and I'll tell you all about it. If you spent any time stalking the arcades in the 90s, you will have come across Point Blank, an arcade shooter made up of minigames and often stood out with its distinctive blue and pink gun peripherals. If my memory serves correctly, I think on some of the machines you could actually win cash money for playing well. The good old days. On Point is very much a carbon copy made new for modern audiences, albeit without the name and the memorable mustachioed characters, which means right out of the gate it's already missing something. Just like you. You're missing out on my smooth English accent by not subscribing, so take aim and fire at the like and subscribe buttons below, you beauty. Anyway, where was I? Yes, it's not missing much. The gameplay is as expected, a variety of random minigames that test your accuracy, speed and attentiveness. Most are done within under half a minute, and others can be done in just a few seconds, meaning the action is always coming, and despite the minigames being fairly simple in nature, the constant rotation helps keep fatigue at bay. The gunplay is mostly solid, and what I really liked, although I'm not sure this was an intended thing, when I would be pulling the trigger as quickly as possible, the clack 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 of the trigger on the Quest 2 controller took me back to those days in the arcades. For an early access release, you can't really ask for much more. It's already super polished, and I've seen pricier, big budget games release in much worse conditions. Performance is generally really good, and that's on the Quest 2, so if you're on the Pro or the 3, or if you're watching in the future and have another headset, it's probably going to be even better on your gear than on mine, though I have no complaints. My only gripes with the game come down to small things that will no doubt be added over due course, like the lack of any on-screen indicator to say that the mini-game has begun. Some are obvious, the targets pop out, others are not. I would have also liked a timer or something so I could see how much time I had left during any given mini-game, just to up the tension a bit, create a bit of drama with those last-second Hail Marys. And then there's the menus. It's kind of confusing figuring out what the different symbols mean, so some proper signage would be useful, and again, it's something that's likely on the to-do list, and you can certainly enjoy the game without them. They would just be nice to have. On Point makes no bones about being a clone, and rightly so. The Point Blank franchise has been dead in the water for decades, so anybody to come along and say we're bringing that flavour back, not a problem with me, I can tell you that much. It's not the deepest of games, and you will likely bore of it after an hour or two, but it's sure to be a good pass the headset game if you've got mates or family round, and for the price they're asking, it's definitely cheaper and more fun than mooching around a smoke-filled arcade in real. And that is the end of this video, and there is no score awarded. It's early access, it's going to change, it's going to get better, I hope. It should certainly not get worse. So all I'll say is I do recommend it. If you've got 20 quid to burn on something, you'll probably only play a handful of times and on special occasions. Once the full release comes around, I'll revisit this one and we'll do a score. If you enjoyed this video and want more, do us a solid, hit the like and subscribe buttons below and give the bell icon a tap so you're notified whenever we've got new stuff for you to watch. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, cheers my dears.